Hello and welcome to Game of Thrones Speculation Sunday. Today I'm here with my co-host, J.R. Raleigh, and today we had to talk about something that we were looking at yesterday, and we thought it was worth discussion today. And it is going to be the fate of Tyrion Lannister. Now, I know all of you have been waiting. I can put this one on JR today. I'm usually not the one on time. But JR, that's his fault today. So we're dumping it off.
I'll take the hit for this one. I even announced it early on in the chat that this one was my fault.
So we're dumping it all on JR. But just for anyone that is here today, there's going to be a little bit of spoilers today. In anticipation, some things that may be happening in season 8 that could or could not happen. So just a warning out there for all of you. Take it with a grain of salt, but there is some things that we're going to talk about today that could possibly be very spoilery. All right, so we got Morally with the pre-stream donation. She says, "I'm going to make this bet." She bet $25 US that Tyrion is going to survive Game of Thrones season 8. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually we'll take some bets from the chat after. We'll take some bets and but yeah, basically, JR, this article that we were reading yesterday. It's pretty crazy, right?
It is, and it does get into spoiler territory, but it's so unconfirmed and it's a little out there, so it's more tinfoil theory.
And basically, I guess what we can announce is that Game of Thrones VFX supervisor Steve Callback slips out a major spoiler about Tyrion Lannister. So obviously, Game of Thrones won 7 creative Emmys. JR, we actually talked about that. I believe it was on Thursday Thursday we talked about
I think it was last Sunday, actually.
Yeah, it was last Sunday that we talked about Game of Thrones winning a bunch of creative art Emmys. And but anyways, there was this after show and they talked a little bit and Steve Callback accidentally slipped out. And I can't tell you what episode Tyrion dies or doesn't. So I don't know if this was, how Sophie Turner hypes things up and they like to hype things up, and that's how Game of Thrones is. It's a big hype machine.
Are they trolling us or not?
Are they trolling us? Did it actually slip out of his mouth that Tyrion, they are actually somehow VFXing in Tyrion's death, which would suggest maybe that it's White Walker-esque, Wildfire-esque, Dragonfire-esque, if it is to be confirmed like that. But, nothing is obviously confirmed. But we're here, whether it is trolling or not, we're here still to discuss whether Tyrion is going to die in Game of Thrones Season 8 or not. And I think most people, JR, would say that Tyrion is one of those safe characters. But I don't know, man. More and more people, we're going to talk about the rest of the article where it kind of talks about, Tyrion doesn't have like a love for Daenerys, but she's awe-inspiring and he's so enamored with Daenerys that somehow that could complicate his relationship with Jon Snow and Daenerys.
That isn't just the little hint that they is enough of a nod to make us go, because George R. R. Martin has said very early on that Tyrion was going to live no matter what. He was one of the original 3 that were going to make it through the whole story, and George has modeled Tyrion after him in a lot of regards. And so, I kind of want to believe it just because only George R. R. Martin have the dramatic flair to kill himself, killing his character.
So you're basically saying the most influence of George R. R. Martin within a character within the Song of Ice and Fire is actually Tyrion.
Correct.
Yeah, I think there is a good chunk of him in there. Obviously, there's a piece of George within all of his characters because he's created them all. I wouldn't say that he would necessarily act out all of the things his characters do, but Tyrion, Samuel Tarly is another. There's a part of Samuel Tarly in George R. R. Martin.
Oh, he's in all of his characters, but the one he's always said that he's most identified with is Tyrion.
Yeah, this story is really popular right now, says Travis, and it kind of gives me a little bit of butterflies. I'm usually like, there's been like 17 different plot leaks or something this offseason. I really tried to stay away from those because I want to enjoy Game of Thrones season 8 as much as I can, and I want to give authentic theories and put content out there that when I'm not being like, if it is something that is legit being spoiled by someone that really sucks that's doing this, I don't kind of want to be part of that.
Yeah, in my mind, as soon as you sent me that article, you're like, oh my God, it dropped me the link to the article and I read it. I'm like, my mind just started flooding with possibilities of what we thought was going to be the end game, which we have coming up in other videos talking about end game theories, like the big, like making all the calls on trying to nail down season 8 perfectly. We have that video coming out.
Paige Roberts says, I saw someone make a video that Tyrion is considered the main character because he interacts with more characters than anyone else. Was that Gemma? I think it's more than one person that's made that video or that call, Paige. Certainly, I mean, Tyrion, as far as like interaction in the books and chapters, he's in top 3. I know that. Doesn't he have the most in the books and in the show? He's top 3 or 4. I know that Jon, Arya's up there, Tyrion is up there, screen time. I mean, like...
screen time wise, yeah, oh yeah.
The original 5 in the outline, JR, like Arya, Tyrion, Daenerys, Jon, and Bran. Bran being kind of the lower of the bunch, but those other 4 were really, the main.
Where they're supposed to live.
And I guess you can consider Cersei, like she has a ton of screen time, but she's, she's definitely not.
See, and this goes back to, well, I don't know. I guess we'll bring it up. Oh, well, fuck it. Why not?
No, we're just going to talk about. I mean, the conversation that Tyrion and Cersei had did they actually make a deal?
Did they cut a deal? And does this become Dany's 3rd betrayal, and he's going to have to pay with his life on it?
So for me, it's like, what kind of deal could they have made? Cersei is pregnant. She's not manipulating Jaime. Is she going to have that baby? It remains to be seen. I think she's going to have a miscarriage, and Daenerys is going to have the baby, the life and death scene, the balance we see within the Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones. But I mean, could she have made some deal with Tyrion, like, hey, like this baby, if it's born, it needs to continue on, because Cersei was very protective of her children. We can at least give her that. I mean, she doesn't really have any redeeming qualities, but she cares.
And I'm still gonna make the call that it's a dwarf.
Oh, that would be insane, right? I mean, and
it's gonna kill her.
Like,
I was on Johnny B. Crazy's live chat earlier. I popped in and watched his live stream, and they were talking about that, like wanting that scene, and it wasn't one that struck me really. And then when they started talking about that chat, I'm like, oh my God, I so want that scene. I want the alien baby chest popper scene. Like, I want that so bad now.
Let's do some shout-outs before we go through here. Paige Roberts, John Haymaker, Mackenzie Burns, Talamaska Dan, Mama Ogre, Kalisha Thompson, Maura Lee, of course, John St. Baptiste, Elena von Lunstein, Mia Ice and Fire, Laura Hyde. We have Nicola, Mia Ice and Fire, Laura D. And by the way, patrons, I got something new coming up for you. You will all be featured in my end credits. I'm going to have a new outro for all of my videos. Me and Jay are actually working on 2 videos for next week. But I'm kind of waffling whether I want to do a Tyrion or Jaime video for tomorrow. So I haven't really decided. And
for your edited video, I thought you were going to do Jaime.
Yeah, I haven't really decided. I don't know. I mean, this information on Tyrion is really interesting, and I think I should dive deeply. I'm going to cover both characters, obviously, but I'm just trying to decide on what I want to do.
Well, since you're going to do it, you might as well make it the fate of the Lannisters at this point, because they all kind of go hand in hand.
But I want to talk about one of them specifically. I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to talk about all of them, this is going to be like super jumbled, and I try to focus on like one thing and try to, like, you know what I mean, because I can get all over the place and then get sidetracked. We got
with the merging of all the characters and all the plot points. I mean, it's all merged. You almost can't talk with one without the other ones, bleeding over.
It's really crazy. I mean, we got so much time until Game of Thrones season 8. So obviously, this information that we're getting, people are looking very closely for this kind of information. I mean, there's not very many of these types of things that are happening, JR, as far as like awards and stuff goes. So if someone does say something relevant, somebody is going to report on it and try to decipher if there's anything worth, taking from it. Sorry, I got to
Bless you.
Yeah, I got really bad allergies today, everyone. I apologize. As you can see, my eyes.
Oh, it's bad in Texas right now.
I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden today, ever since this morning, I was just like all over the place. I apologize. I know, Helen.
I don't know. Up here, it's mountain cedar. I don't know what y'all have down in Houston, though.
So, what are some other things we want to talk about here? So obviously, he's going to be going to Winterfell with a big group of people. He was right there at the end of the season when boat sex happened, which was a huge deal, right?
Yep, he's on the boat and with John and Danny. So yeah, I mean, I really hope they stop in White Harbor. By the way, that's just one of my fanboy dreams. Like, I really want White Harbor. I want the Manderleys, and I want the damn Wolf's Den.
Are we going to get to see some of the North? I mean, I don't think they're going to be making any stops. I think they're going straight to Winterfell because I think there's going to be that big impact.
Well, no, because they gotta put in at White Harbor from King's Landing.
So you think we go to White Harbor first before? I don't know. I think they're going to use the Littlefinger jetpack time jump machine and then just arrive to Winterfell. But certainly, I do think that White Harbor, we're going to see it, and it's going to be trampled by the Night King and his army. I think we're at least going to see that. But I mean, Tyrion. Okay.
Well,
what kind of role is he going to play in the first episode? He's a Lannister. You know what I mean? He's going to have a similar reaction to, I mean, not as bad as Jaime. But yeah, certainly John is going to have to calm things down a little bit. And I think things are going to be pretty crazy. I think the North is not going to be happy that John has brought Daenerys, the Dragon Queen, back and Tyrion Lannister.
I think there'll be a bit of tension in the beginning of it. But once they realize what Dany did to save them north of the wall so that they could, broker the armistice agreement for the battle with the Night's King, I think it'll get blown over. Like, people are going to be hesitant at first, but pretty much everybody that would have bucked it majorly has already lost their head or is dead.
I mean, obviously there's still Bronzion Royce and Sansa is there, and she's, probably she does have the Knights of the Vale. I guess we could say that that's basically her army now. Essentially.
Yeah, since killing Littlefinger kind of puts a damper on that. I mean, yes, they belong to Robin Arryn, but Robin Arryn is sweet Robin, so who cares what he thinks?
And one thing that Sansa really took an interest in was obviously that all the northern members of the Northern Army have the right type of armor and to keep them insulated and warm during the coming winter. That's something that she was concerned about. And obviously the rations of food that they have, how long is that going to last them during this long night, right?
Yeah, she's setting up Winterfell for a siege, and there's no doubt that she is totally fulfilling her role as Lady of Winterfell, which is really cool to see her take it on her own.
So saying that, I mean, Sansa and Tyrion, I think that they're actually going to be kind of a secret duo in Game of Thrones season 8. I mean, Sansa has been mistreated by a lot of different men. Tyrion didn't bed her on their wedding night. He said he would never hurt her, and she's going to remember back to those moments. And I think that she's going to look upon Tyrion fondly. Obviously, Daenerys is entering the equation, but I think that some of the chatter about Tyrion that's going to be there. I think Sansa's actually going to be kind of a defender of Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion always tried to look out for her and tried to protect her as much as he could with the power that he could wield, and never hurt her. Everything that was happening to her, whether it was by Joffrey's command with the Kingsguard, Sir Meryn Trant beating her. I mean, yeah, he always did what he could for her.
And I think it's really interesting that Sansa has kind of come into her own, and she is going to become a more popular character because I think she's going to make some power plays, and I think people are thinking that she's going to make power plays against her own family. But I think all of that is gone because she realizes that safety is, and the safety of Winterfell and her family is what's important now. She's at that point where, in her story where she's had that transformation where she's become a different person. And then we're really getting at the end of the journey. I mean, we're at the end of the journey for all of these characters, people. I mean, who are the people that they are going to become in the end is what I try to think about mostly these days. Like, where did they start and where could they end up? And I certainly think that Sansa could, I could see Sansa and Tyrion together at the end of the story if Tyrion does survive.
They're going to end up spending a lot of time because, let's face it, Sansa's not a battlefield commander, neither is Tyrion. So they're going to spend a lot of time behind the walls in Winterfell, whether they have to bail out of Winterfell or what when the Night King's army gets down there is a whole nother story. But they're going to spend the most time together because they're advisors.
And they have a similar set of skills where they're not really considered. I mean, Tyrion's not considered a fighter; he's a politician. And Sansa, I mean, they're kind of in the same mold. So they're kind of going to be playing the same game.
Sansa can weather a siege. She knows what to do. You just sing what song is it? It's Sweet Mother Mercy, and everything will be fine.
So let's get some opinions from the chat. Do we think that this is kind of the first part of the equation here? Do we think that Sansa and Tyrion are going to have some positive interactions? Is Tyrion going to have a hard time when he first comes to Winterfell? Is he going to be greeted warmly? Is Bran's going to be there? Obviously, I think he's going to be excited about Tyrion being there because Tyrion is a very intelligent, wise person. So I think that's going to be something that is very important as well. And I think that obviously they're going to have a chance to rest for maybe one episode, and then kind of shit hits the fan. I think we get maybe not even. Maybe it's going to be even more crazy than we think. Generally we only got 10 episodes in the season, but we got 6 this season, and we're going to have longer episodes. Shit could hit the fan right in the middle of like episode 1 or something. But let's get everybody's thoughts in the chat. Will Tyrion and Sansa be awesome together? Will they team up and kind of form a duo? If you think so, put a fire emoji in the chat. Do you think that Tyrion will be greeted warmly by members of the North? Let us know in the comments section. We're going to move to a new part of the discussion in just a moment. And if you are enjoying this video, I see we have 29 likes and we have 81 people watching. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this video and you love Game of Thrones content. Obviously, hitting that like button helps the channel grow. So if you do enjoy Game of Thrones content, hit that like button.
You mean hit that like button like Podrick in a whorehouse?
Oh, damn. Yeah. Are you going to dress up as Podrick for next Con of Thrones?
Am I? No, I'm not doing Podrick.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going
to. Friday, I'm going as Davos. Saturday is a say I'm going as Rhaegar.
Oh, Rhaegar. Wow. You with the blonde wig?
And shaved.
And my loins. I'm going to be really excited about that, JR.
Are you going to gender Ben Khaleesi at the con?
Damn, I knew that was coming.
Of course you did.
Then we could both have long blonde hair. Yeah, I might rock Khaleesi at Con of Thrones. It really depends how much people want it. We'll see. I think if
that's going to be an awfully crowded boat.
And we have Con Snow this coming next time too. What does everybody think of maybe me and Con Snow doing a sitcom? Has everybody in the chat seen Boat Sex 2.0? So what we're thinking of doing is we're doing 8 months later or 9 months later where we have a baby and John's off fighting the White Walkers and I'm like, John, the castle is a mess. Oh, you're out fighting the White Walkers with your dragons. And like giving him a hard time.
Oh my God.
Like a sitcom.
Married with baby dragons. It'd be great.
Yes. Like a Khaleesi and Con Snow sitcom. Ashaya, by the way, from History of Westeros has agreed to film that with Tripodrick and and the camera here. So we're going to try to make that happen next Con of Thrones. That would be really fun.
Oh, Tripodrick making another appearance at another con.
Okay, so let's go into another part of the conversation. Obviously, episode 1, Tyrion getting into Winterfell. Sansa is going to be a huge interaction. Does he interact with anyone like Samwell Tarly? Is the big reveal of Jon's parentage going to happen right away in the first episode?
Yeah, I think we get it in the first episode. Jon will get there. Hopefully Jamie will be there in the first episode too, just to get that all out of the way in the first episode.
We talked a little bit about this yesterday. Jamie might not be in all 6 episodes of this season. This is kind of something that makes me think he could take a while to get to Winterfell. But I mean, if everybody's, travel factor is not going to matter that much, I don't think, in Game of Thrones season 8. I think you can just throw that out the window as something that is important. And it certainly could be a possibility that Jamie could be there like almost right away. Like, Tyrion gets there and then Jamie gets there and Tyrion's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Well, Cersei abandoned us and we don't have her army." And then they can kind of plan appropriately. And then, the Night King arrives and they're screwed anyways. So what else do you see happening with Tyrion and Winterfell early on in season 1?
Early on in season 1, so the Sansa and Tyrion is going to be the biggest part of that. It's going to be awesome to see. And I think there is a love there because of the way he treated her constantly. Outside of that, I don't think Tyrion's going to have a big role in Winterfell.
So, I mean, but because Samwell and Bran are kind of filling that role of finding all of the things that are important about the White Walkers and whatnot. I don't know. I mean, Tyrion is going to have he's going to be like, "Oh, I read about that once." I have a feeling there's going to be one of those moments where he's going to they're trying to figure something out and Tyrion's like, "Oh, I know this." You know what I mean? Because we had that similar moment with Samwell and Bran where Samwell filled in, "Oh, I read that Rhaegar had an annulment." You know what I feel like Tyrion's going to be there in one of those moments and kind of in one of those scenarios enlighten someone on something from something he's read or learned.
Well, Gilly read that there was an annulment.
Right, but Sam announced.
You can't give that one to Sam.
But Sam announced that to Bran.
Correct.
So perhaps Tyrion is going to, drop some knowledge again. And the thing we got to remember the conversation that Tyrion had with Jon Snow. And Scott McCloy, Tyrion says he's going to drop some knowledge from the books he read in season 1. He stops reading and he tells Jon to wear his bastard cloak as armor. We got to remember that. And now, if he finds
that's right. That's right before the feast in Winterfell. That's not when they're on the road. The road is him explaining further about being a bastard.
So I could see Jon going in the crypts of Winterfell or cleaning Longclaw under the tree like Ned, reminiscing. We can be like, "Whoa, this is kind of history repeating itself again." And then I could totally see Tyrion approaching Jon because they do trust each other. They, you know what I mean? They both have grown as men. But Jon does respect Tyrion, and Tyrion respects Jon. I could see Tyrion kind of tempering some of that angst that Jon has about learning his true parentage in the first episode or whatever. But I think there's going to be a repeat history moment, JR. You think that could happen maybe where Tyrion calls back to hey,
I think there's going to be a lot of callbacks to imagery and scenes that we saw in the first season, especially around Winterfell with all of the Starks there. And they're going to pay a lot of those off. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a reflection pool scene at the base of the Weirwood tree. I wouldn't be surprised if Tyrion comes out and talks to him in the manner that Kat did, talking to Ned about the announcement of Jon Arryn. Maybe that's where they tell him that Dany died in battle.
That would have to be later in the season, and I think that they're going to have to flee Winterfell, though. I mean, Miguel Sapochnik is he's directing episode
2 and episode 5,
3 and 5,
or 3 and 5, yeah.
So that's thought to be the Battle of Winterfell in episode 3 and the Battle for King's Landing in episode 5. And I really, really hope he gets both the battles, because if so... and that's another thing. Peter Dinklage did say that the battles in season 8 top Battle of the Bastards, which is really encouraging, because Battle of the Bastards was really good. I think we expected nothing less anyways. It's the final season of Thrones.
And the Battle of Winterfell filmed, 54 nights straight?
55 nights, I think. Yeah, it was a record. And the green screen they had was one of the biggest ever. So the fact that Tyrion's going to be there, part of that, I would love. Tyrion getting into the fight, that would be really interesting. Tyrion,
he might not have a choice. It'd be interesting if Sansa has to get in the fight, or if Arya ends up having to protect her.
Or Tyrion has to protect
because no one, Sansa's phrase of "no one can protect me," and no one is Arya.
And Tyrion can be like, oh, I read about the Crypts of Winterfell or something like that. There might be a secret passage. Like Tyrion's gonna have one of those moments where he's gonna be super helpful, and it's gonna be like, oh, Tyrion is part of what, like who saved the day, or how they escaped, or something like that, or how they sneak into King's Landing. That's definitely gonna be one of the things he's all about. In chat, what do you think? What is going to be one of Tyrion's biggest moments early on in Game of Thrones season 1? Is he going to be part of the discovery of Jon's parentage, putting something together, speaking to Jon? Is he going to be instrumental in finding something out about the White Walkers? Let's hear what you guys have to say in the chat, guys and gals have to say in the chat, because I feel like Tyrion is going to enlighten someone about something major early on in the season.
And hey, Aziz just popped into the chat.
Oh, we have Aziz in the chat? Nice to see you, Aziz. Yeah, we're but that's just what I've been thinking about. When we were discussing before the stream, a couple hours ago, we were like, okay, well, what kind of path could Tyrion take? And Tyrion's story in season 7, it didn't make a lot of people happy, JR. Where his story went, people felt like it didn't play out like it should. But I feel like Tyrion is one of the 4 or 5 biggest players in the Game of Thrones, regardless if he's just kind of sitting back and giving advice. So I think that he's going to make some sort of major move, and I don't know. I want to hear everybody's in chat opinion. Let's hear what you have to say. Does Tyrion make some sort of discover some sort of revelation about the White Walkers? Is it politically? Does he put his foot on the ground and give his advice and kind of? You know what he could do? People are fighting, and he's like, listen. He could kind of be that one person that undivides everyone and is like, okay, everybody needs to calm down. We need to band together. Cersei is clearly not coming to help us with her army, and we have a limited amount of soldiers and resources and whatnot.
How much wildfire do you think Jaime gets up to the north?
You think he's getting wildfire at all? I don't know, man. I think it's going to stay in King's Landing, man. If there is any left.
I don't know. Well, it'd be a nice payback to season 2 to Battle of Blackwater now, wouldn't it? If Tyrion was like, no, we need to do this because they're dumb zombies. We can get away with this one more time.
Is wildfire going to be a thing that is going to be used against the White Walkers? It's certainly interesting, right? I mean, they got dragons now. We at least got Rhaegal and Drogon. Who knows? Viserion could kill one of them, maybe in the Battle of Winterfell or something like that. I could see that going down, maybe. I think that at least Drogon makes it till the end, and there's going to be some sort of Dance of Dragons 2.0, probably near King's Landing, JR. But
I think a dragon will end up in King's Landing because, I really enjoyed the part of the books where Cersei actually burned down the Tower of the Hand after Tyrion killed Tywin. Mm-hmm. And so I just would really like to see the Tower of the Hand on fire.
And it was foreshadowed so many different times, even back to the Battle of the Blackwater, where Cersei's eyes were glowing as green as emeralds when she was staring down the hall drinking wine, and Sansa noticed that. That's one of the most descriptive moments in all of the books that I absolutely love. George talks about Cersei's eyes and how beautiful they are. But wildfire could be part of the equation too. You're right, JR. Tyrion has certainly been part of some successful plans, and I guess last season we don't know if this is going to happen in the books. It'll probably be completely different, but his plans weren't as successful, obviously. So he's going to want to contribute in some sort of way where he is going to be successful. So I think that you could be right. Maybe there is more wildfire. And, I could certainly see a situation where Tyrion says, hey, we lure them into King's Landing after we evacuate it, and boom, we blow up, the army of the dead because it's such a significant number of undead. It's probably going to grow in, 3 or 4 times its size if they are going to flee south.
And can Euron's fleet evacuate King's Landing would be another interesting part. If they're gonna nuke King's Landing, because might as well at this point break the wheel all the way, like not just part of the way. Go ahead and just smash it, like y'all should be smashing that like button. It would be epic to see that.
Well,
do you like that little segue?
I did like that. Do smash that like button if you are enjoying this video. One thing that we could actually reference, JR, is in Dany's vision in the House of the Undying vision, specifically in the show. We see the Red Keep. There's snow falling, right? And part of the Red Keep
in a burned King's Landing. So I think we're going to get that payoff. It's just a matter of how it's going to happen, whether it's Dragonfire, Wildfire. If Cersei could actually abandon that throne and save as many people as possible. That would be about the only redemptive thing I think she could possibly do.
I don't think she's going to
point.
do that. I think Jaime's going to have to kill her, and they're going to have to evacuate King's Landing. I think we're going to get a scenario where Cersei's going to
I think he would give King's Landing.
I mean, Cersei's going to close off the gates to King's Landing, much like Mad King Aerys did, I think. And I think we're going to see the repeating of history again, the Ouroboros effect, the circular nature of time within the Song of Ice and Fire. But it certainly would be interesting, though, the wildfire scenario. But, that could be the undead Viserion that's destroyed part of the Red Keep, much like Harrenhal was destroyed when Aegon the Conqueror came over and did that. So I don't know. There's certainly parallels there, but that House of the Undying vision in the show certainly lends to believe that something bad is going to happen in King's Landing.
Correct. And if Jaime's involved in it at all, he's going to save as many people as he can. I mean, that's just the way that Jaime is.
Well, I mean, hypothetically, let's say like Tyrion and people like sneak back into King's Landing, probably be like Jaime, Tyrion, Brienne, the Hound. The Mountain is still there to deal with Cersei, so that's kind of a thing. Tyrion might be there with Jaime to talk down Cersei. She probably isn't going to be able to be talked down at that point. I mean, her children are gone. The only thing left she has is power, and she is queen. I don't know what's going to happen with Euron, if she's going to marry him, if he's going to be in her ear, if Qyburn's going to be in her ear, and it's going to be, she's going to be influenced that way. Certainly, she could listen to all of that, but I don't think she's going to listen to too many people. So, I mean, Tyrion is one of those people that certainly, we keep on talking about. There could be some sort of deal there, and maybe she completely reneges on that if there is one.
She could renege on the deal, and let's face it, it's Cersei, so it's entirely likely that she will. I don't know. That's tough. So
we've got to the kind of the end of the season and the start of the season, and then the middle parts of the season are going to be kind of jumbled. So obviously, I think we both agree that the Battle of Winterfell is going to be episode 3. JR, we think.
Yeah, Battle of Winterfell definitely take place in episode 3, and 5 is going to be King's Landing, whatever big piece, because that's Miguel Sapochnik again, and so that's going to be another massive battle. So we know if they get pushed by the Night's King's army back to King's Landing, which I'm not saying is going to happen, but it is possible. That'll give us some other things like the. Got hopefully some Howland Reed in there too. So I mean, there's some big pluses if they do push that far south.
Yeah, there are some awesome points here in the chat as well. Well, one thing that is really excellent as well is that I'm going to see Ramin Djawadi tomorrow night. Super excited about that. And they're actually talking about Ramin Djawadi constructing some huge new pieces for Game of Thrones season 8, even bigger than the ones he's created before. And Light of the Seven is certainly something that comes to mind when we think about King's Landing. Obviously, that hard open during the episode Winds of Winter, the season 6 finale, episode 10. That is probably the most beautiful piece of music for me personally that has ever been created for the show. The House Lannister theme. It's become darker and darker, and obviously we have the Reigns of Castamere, which has been something that's been triumphant for House Lannister.
It sounds like, is John St. Baptiste in here? Oh, he is. Good. How many octaves did they drop for Cersei's music now? Because I think they've significantly dropped it from the Lannister. Like, it's down like 3 octaves, I swear.
It's gotten a lot darker, though, for sure.
Yeah.
So something that I've just noticed, you know what I mean? That certainly is going to play a factor in how we view season 8 too. I mean, Ramin Djawadi is just absolutely amazing, and that's been such a big part of A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones, especially for the TV show, because it is a different medium how we're absorbing all of our information. I mean, visually we're being stimulated, but obviously the music sets the tone for the episodes and whatnot. So that is something interesting that I've read about. I'm like, Tyrion, like, what's his music going to be like? For Game of Thrones season 8, he's going to be super conflicted because he's in the middle of everything, right? I mean, he's going to have to consider Dany's interest because he's handed the Queen of Dany, but he also really respects Jon, and Jon and Dany are together, and he's worried about them being betrayed. And then all of these other people are going to be giving their opinions, and Tyrion's going to have to kind of be like the stabilizing factor with all of them. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, is he going to be the stabilizing factor, or is that going to be someone else? JR, is it going to be Davos? Is Tyrion going to be that guy in Game of Thrones season 8?
I don't. You're breaking up on me, so I'm having a hard time hearing you, Kyle.
No, I was just going to say in Game of Thrones season 8, is Tyrion going to be that guy that's going to be that stabilizing factor? Is it going to be someone like a Davos Seaworth or, a Howland Reed coming in, or Samuel Tarly? Do you think that Tyrion's going to be kind of that glue that is holding people together? Because I think a lot of people will be divided on what to do, especially with the White Walkers reaching the wall.
I think Tyrion and Jaime are going to lay down the battle plan with Jon and Dany, but it's going to be Tyrion's influence, because at least he can't screw up any worse than he did last season, right? You're telling me I lost half my fleet, so all your plans are going smashingly right now. What do you think I should do, Snow?
So you think that? It's only up from here for Tyrion. Yeah, I kind of agree, but Tyrion is very ambitious, and we see people that are ambitious in Game of Thrones and the Song of Ice and Fire. We see what happens to them, bro. You know what I mean? So let's get a percentage in chat from not only JR and me, but a percentage of Tyrion. How safe is Tyrion next season? Okay, give me a percentage.
Are we going to do fire and hearts? Like a fire if you think he's going down?
I actually want an actual percentage from everyone. And I know some people are going to give a ridiculous percentage, like 1 million safe or something like that. Between 1 and 100, or 0 and 100. So 5% safe for Sherry, 100 from Kyle Dubs, 75% from the prince that wasn't promised, 99 from Michael. And Michael's all the way in Australia. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Attilia with 50-50.
Gemma is finally in the chat. She says, Tyrion to Jon, you make me feel that I'm failing at brooding and failing. 70% for Paige, 100% for Talamasca, 20% for Nick Hill, 100% for Morley, 95 for Garden Girl, 50-75 for Mom Ogre, 75 for Chrissy. Anime Lovers 50-50. Scott is 80s. Laura is 75. John's 50-50. Helena is...
Don't even try. Helen, damn you.
Peter Griffin, 0%. He thinks that Tyrion's going to die. Neil's reign is 50%, 50-50, 25%, 100%. What? 100% from Gemma? What universe am I in? Right
100% safe? Oh, wow.
Oh, by the way, everyone, we have Amy Tyrell Sutherland. She was, I think, my first or second ever subscriber here on the channel. She's the first or second ever subscriber. So everybody say hello to Amy, one of our original supporters for the channel. Yeah, so there's, the majority of you say that there's a pretty high percentage, over 75% for Tyrion, but more and more I'm getting worried about Tyrion. Like, there is some foreshadowing that he could possibly have his tongue cut out, especially in the books with Euron trying to achieve godhood.
Gemma's still banging on that he's 100% safe. I don't know. Only George R. R. Martin could kill himself in a book. I'm just saying it's possible, Gemma.
I'm gonna say 65 to 60%. I used to be like 75-80% for Tyrion, but it's kind of, I don't know. Gemma says she's rewatched season 7 and confirms that Tyrion is safe. I don't know. I've already made enough bets for Game of Thrones season 8. I don't think I need to make any more.
Ask Krakens, Kyle Lisi on Halloween. Man, you got a great track record with bets.
Well, what was the one bet that I made that is the worst? If Ashara Dane is Jon Snow's mother, I got to get an ass.
That's the Ask Kraken.
I got to get the Kraken tattoo on my ass. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. So.
Yeah, you're so past Ashara Dane theories. We were talking, and we don't hate that. Okay. So everybody seems to think that we absolutely. If you think it's possible, that's great. It's just not one that we necessarily subscribe to. But people take it so personally.
For the show, Rhaegar and Lyanna are Jon's parents in the show. That's like 100% confirmed, people. That's true. I did eat a sock. I did say that Lady Stoneheart would appear in the season 5 finale of Game of Thrones, and I said she would appear in season 6 as well, which was a really, really, really bad bet. He's been lucky so far. Maybe his luck has run out, says Jordy Jedi. What's up, Jormungand? Nice to see you. Tyrion is either safe or he is dead one way or another. People could lose a bet. Yeah, that's true, Mackenzie. Karen Richmond says, I'm back. We have close to 100 people watching. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Of course, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure you like this video. If you enjoy live streams and live chats like this where we're answering questions, we're actually going to open it up to questions here in just a second. And if you do want to support the channel, consider joining on Patreon. All the links to that are in the description of this video. Of course, JR has started an amazing group on Facebook called Geek Chat 1. We geek out there, talk about Marvel, Game of Thrones. We do all sorts of polls, shenanigans, lots of memes. And,
Expanse, quizzes, polls, who knows what's on there now. I haven't checked it in a little bit since I've been on.
But everyone is invited, and if you want to come geek out, the link is in the description of this video. For all my social media.
And don't fall for Gemma's trolling in there. Every time she's asking a question, she's trying to get out of you guys. Today she tried to figure out everybody's relative age by putting in a cheeky little hey, type in what year you were born and see what was popular then, but you can only answer in a GIF, so you have to extrapolate what year it was and try to get this information. It's all Gemma's little game.
And by the way, there was that Marvel poll. I don't know how in the hell Loki beat Thor. That was rigged, okay? The God of Thunder versus Loki. Thor is winning every time. I just want to say that poll was rigged. And Star-Lord being Iron Man, get the hell out of here, man. That pissed me right off.
Oh, that would no. Yeah, that's another one of Gemma's psychological tests. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, Gemma has been brainwashing people in this group to vote a certain way, and I think it's actually really it's bullshit, actually.
It's bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Lauren's Corner in the chat. Christy of Oldstone, the best moderator on YouTube. Jakaris Targaryen. Fake Arya.
And Lauren had Alicia Kingston on her channel earlier today. I was actually watching that interview. It was really great.
Yeah, we gotta have Lauren in some shenanigans at some point. And Otella Angel, she did up her Patreon pledge. So thank you so much for that, Otella. And Mike Armentrout also upped his pledge on Patreon. So thank you so much for that. Me and Gemma don't know what we're covering next week, but we do Patreon only polls, extra voting if you do want to influence what we do talk about on the Citadel of Hype podcast. We're on episode 30 now, JR. It's been crazy. Time passes by so fast, right?
All this is going by so fast. I can't believe September is almost over. We're halfway through September. I don't even know where the time went. Two of my friends are getting married next week, so we had a bachelor party last night. So yeah, it's great.
And like I said, me and JR have two videos coming for you. One on the Night King and one on Jaime Lannister and Tyrion. Those are going to be the next three videos we cover on the channel. More videos are coming, and like I said, we got some new stuff to finally some more edited video.
And if you like tinfoil, you can put it on for the Night's King one because this one's a little bit out there, but I really really like it, so that's why it's getting written into a script. It's really good.
Yeah, so JR. Has been long wanting to do content, and I said I volunteer JR for you to come on the channel and drop some of your theories. We can put them in the videos. So let's open it up to the chat, everyone. Let's open it up to Tyrion Lannister's fate, Game of Thrones season 8. Certainly, we can talk about book stuff too. This is kind of just an open discussion, but I think that we should take some questions, JR, and kind of see if people got some awesome tinfoil theories or predictions from the chat.
Absolutely. I love chat questions. They're great. And then usually they end up carrying over onto Geek Chat 1 anyway, which is mildly entertaining.
Oh, yes. Okay, so who's got the first question? Mama Ogre, I have a Q&A. What's your favorite Tyrion Lannister's best bits? Oh, I love... I love when he threatens Joffrey when he's like, you're gonna be screwing your bride with a wooden cock. That's one of my favorite moments. Obviously when he's trying to bribe Mord, he's like, I'll give you money. He's like in the sky. So I like all of Tyrion, and the funny moments when he's talking to the woman in Marine, and Varys is like, no, you just said you wanted to eat her baby. So those are some of the funny moments that I really like with Tyrion.
Mine goes right back to episode 1 of Tyrion in Winterfell and talking to Jon. And you are not, and Catelyn Stark is not your mother.
I also my favorite ever line from Tyrion is definitely the one he said to Jon Snow about being a bastard. Wear it like armor, for no one's really gonna give a shit what you feel like. So you got to carry on in the world. That's probably my favorite. And obviously, death is so final. The god
Jevin just brought it up. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Skinning the eel into the soup. My sister ate it, I think. At least I hope she did. Like that whole everything during that trial by combat was just hilarious.
Oh, actually, my favorite ever moment with Tyrion is when him and Bronn are defending Sansa, and he says, "Clegane, get her a cloak," and he goes, and then he's teaching Meryn Trant about honor. He's like, see, that's a threat. See the difference. That's my favorite moment ever with Tyrion when he's defending Sansa. We got a couple more questions. Brenda Starr says, will Tyrion have to defend Jaime when he gets to Winterfell? Definitely.
Yeah, he will. But just him being there is going to speak volumes about who he is now versus who he was in season 1. So I think it'll be a little less dramatic than some people want it to be.
I actually think that Bran's going to defend him more than Tyrion, which is going to be quite.
I think he will too.
I think Bran's going to be. It's going to be really odd. It's going to be super freaky. Laura D, can you please tell me if the Tyrion will be killed in the Dragon Pit before or after the Night King is defeated? At JR Rally at Azor Ahype. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen personally. But I mean, if he betrays Jon or Dany and he goes to trial, he could be like killed by Dragonfire if there's dragons still around. I don't know.
Yeah, if he does betray Dany or Jon, then yes, it'll happen in the Dragon Pit, and yes, he will go out just like Randall Tarley and Dick on Tarley.
Dick on Tarley. We have
how many different ways did Jaime say his name? It just cracks me up. I love that. All of that.
When Gemma says, when I was 12, I milked my eel into a pot of turtle stew. I flogged the one-eyed snake. I skinned my sausage. I made the bald man cry into the turtle stew, which I do believe my sister ate. Yeah, that was great. Princeton Woods and Promise wants to know if we'll see a wolf pack. JR, I'm going to say yes on that one.
The super pack, I really, really, really hope we get super pack. That's always been one that I've really wanted, just to pay off Nymeria, please, for the love of God. We haven't gotten enough Ghost.
I think they're going to get ambushed in the Riverlands by the army of the dead. I think the Night King is going to he's going to get to Winterfell. They're going to retreat, and then they're going to meet in the Riverlands, and they're going to be like, oh damn, he caught up to us, and he's going to raise a bunch of dead there, and then the wolf pack is going to kind of like buy them some time to escape. So that could be, or really close to King's Landing. Maybe they they join the final battle. That would be really badass. That's kind of too fairy tale-ish, though. I don't see that happening, but I could certainly see like.
Well, I mean, it would be Mercy for killing Lady now, wouldn't it? If the super pack ends up taking out like half of her army.
That would be badass. I would love that. Nine Nor says, I love Tyrion from season 1 to 6. Season 7, Tyrion let me down. I was hoping more for his character. I think he's going to have more of a redemptive arc in season 7. He's definitely going to have more to do. I mean,
and that's been a common complaint that a lot of people didn't like him in the later seasons, and a lot of that has to do with the writers running out of source material, because George R. Martin has written him so well in the books that he's absolutely amazing, and it becomes everybody's favorite character because of the way that he interacts with people, and his dialogue is absolutely flawless.
And I think too, part of the reason why it's going to get better in Game of Thrones season 8 is that the characters are converging. And we're going to have, I mean, he is one of the most intelligent and wise characters. So if someone is saying something that's out of line, he's going to correct them or give his opinion or kind of hot take. And then obviously if there's something that, Tyrion is one of those kind of light bulb characters where you can kind of discover, or, I've read this. Oh, this is related to this. He is he has done a lot of reading. Like you said, a mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone. So he is someone that has a lot of knowledge of things that's happened in Westerosi history.
He's gonna be right up there with. It's gonna be the three of it. It's gonna be Bran, Sam Tarly, and Tyrion with it early canon. I can't wait to see those scenes of them trying to hash out what the hell they're going to do.
The three of them together, they all offer something different. Bran is kind of transcendental now because he's more
maybe we missed it.
Connected. Yeah, I don't know.
It's the actual Azor hype theory is those three coming together. Maybe we missed this one. Maybe that's actually what it is.
The three heads of the dragon. I mean,
yeah, the three wise men.
You know, it's kind of interesting. You know, the three heads of the dragon theory. I always thought that Jon's parentage would be confirmed by three people, Bran being there in spirit. Like, you know how they said the body, mind, and spirit, you know, Jesus Christ, they talk about that. And George has weaved a lot of the history of the Bible and what happened in the Bible within the Song of Ice and Fire. And I think that Bran being there in spirit, Samuel Tarly reading something in a book, and Howland Reed actually being there in person is kind of body, mind, and spirit. So I think that, but certainly we might not get Howland Reed. So how do they do that, right?
Yeah, how do they reveal the information that Howland has? I really hope we get Howland Reed as another person to confirm. But is it gonna right now? I just don't see them introducing, like, we haven't gotten. There wasn't really anything released this year as far as casting, unless they have just kept him an absolute secret. I really don't think we're gonna get Howland, unfortunately.
Yeah, that news about, you know, what was the actress who played Mira Reed? Her name is just not coming.
Oh, I can't remember either, but she's fabulous.
Man, dude, it's really bothering me.
You're gonna have to Google it because I can't come up with it.
Ellie Kendrick. Ellie Kendrick.
Oh, nice, good pull.
Ellie Kendrick, she says that she might not be filming for. I mean, there was nothing on set about her. So, but they are keeping things really tight-lipped as well. So
they are, and if they have them on other contracts for other shows to be able to be in it, you know, that'd be fine. I'm okay with that. If they had to get sneaky about it to have all of it.
Yeah, returning characters as well. Not to spoil anything, like we could see a flashback with Sean Bean or something like that with Ned, and I mean something sentimental with Jon and Ned or something like that, or just.
Oh, I don't think that's a lot of fan service there that I don't think we're gonna get. I just don't see Sean Bean coming back on the show, man.
I want it so bad, dude. I want Sean
Bean. I know. I'm sorry, Kyle. I prepare yourself. Because your winner is already here because he's not coming back. Ned's dead, baby.
Guys,
Ned's dead.
I want Sean Bean back so bad. Please. This is like I want the Clegane Bowl and I want that. And Howland. Okay, I'm gonna name off 5 things that I want and really ruin what I
We actually should do that. Like the top 8 that we absolutely want, but we're probably not gonna get.
Yeah, we could do a whole episode like that. We can talk about wants, and then we can all cry together, and
because we know we're not getting it in the show. Yeah. And this is really show only stuff that we're talking about. We're not really even going into the books because a lot of these characters are not going to be in the same arcs at the point in the books where they are now. And I'm sorry, Stannis is still alive, so everybody can piss off.
But you know, Tyrion could kind of fill maybe that mentor role that Howland would have with Jon, in kind of calming him down when he finds out about his true heritage. I think that obviously Bran's kind of just emotion. He's transcended into a whole nother. I mean,
we have a Night King in the chat. Did you know that, Kyle? And he said, "Don't worry, I am coming."
Oh damn! The Night King is in the chat. Everyone, watch out.
This is fantastic.
I love. There's he's been supporting the channel for quite some time. John Starkgarian or John Targaryen. I can't remember what it is, but he's awesome.
John Starkgarian, yeah.
Yeah, I've chatted with him a couple times. He's really cool. I love all the trilogy. There's a Sandor Clegane account that is subscribed to this channel. I love that person too. Yeah, it's pretty.
No, that's hilarious. I love seeing the character names that popped up, like the weird. Who's this? The smoking the weirwood tree, like that. That one is just hilarious. We can do a whole episode just on chat names.
Oh, that person is in Geek Chat 1. The knight who smoked the laughing tree, or
yes. So is that like smoking Jojen paste? Is that what it is? Is that where we're at?
It's really funny. JR, let's offer our predictions for Tyrion's fate. Do you think that he makes it until the end of the story? Does he survive?
In the show, absolutely. I'm with Gemma. I think it's 100%. As much as I really like that little leaked article that meant really nothing, but we're going to talk about it because that's how ravenous we are as a fandom, that we will pick apart any little thing, including legal documents of somebody's lawsuit with their, former managers.
Yeah, I think that John is actually, and Carrie has a great point. John will take the news like he takes everything, pause, frown, and then get on with things. Yeah, I think that John has grown a lot, and I think that it's going to be a shocker for him, but once he realized how loved he actually was and the sacrifice that Lyanna and Rhaegar made to be together, and that Ned made for him to be safe from Robert Baratheon, you know what I mean? He's going to see everything, and it's going to be all in perspective for him, and he's going to be like, okay, this is how much sacrifice has been made for me. I need to get things done, right?
Yeah, I need to do it. I need to see it through into completion.
He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't really have a choice, honestly.
No.
So yeah, for me, I think that Tyrion does make it till the end. I think there's a very big possibility that both Jon and Daenerys both die, and that Tyrion and Sansa end up taking care of Jon and Dany's kid. We kind of see the repeat history thing happen again with the Rhaegar Lyanna thing go down. I really don't want that to happen, so I'm on the Jon survives boat and Daenerys dies, and Tyrion's going to be, part of helping Jon reconstruct the kingdom. I think
we both agree that one of them has to die, right? Either Dany or Jon.
I think that the Iron Throne is getting melted down, and that there's going to be 7 kingdoms again. That's there's a lot of Tolkien influence within the Song of Ice and Fire. I think that the Iron Throne corrupts like the One True Ring. I think that Dany's goal has always been to get the Iron Throne, and it's going to be interesting because that's going to be a memory for Jon that Dany always wanted to achieve that, and he's just going to melt it down because he's falling in love. I mean, him and Dany are falling in love, and that's going to be something that.
Well, it kind of works with what we were talking about earlier about nuking King's Landing to begin with, if they absolutely had to.
Yeah, for sure. So you think that Tyrion's gonna? What is Tyrion? Is he gonna? What's gonna be his final? What's gonna be his final scene in the series?
With Tyrion,
yeah,
is going to be dealing with the children of Jon and Dany, and either Jon or Dany as an advisor with Davos. Like the small council is going to be amazing. Not that they're going to have one again, but I mean they have the best, it's brightest that Westeros has to offer.
Sam Tarly, Tyrion, the Briennes, those kinds, the Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things we keep on talking about.
Absolutely.
I'm in agreement there. Let's start the chat. Let's see. Before we go, let's see everyone's predictions.
Tyrion's last scene.
Tyrion's last scene, and then we're gonna sign off. I want to see what everyone has to say today in the chat. Tyrion's last scene. What is it gonna be?
Lauren from Lauren's Corner. Tyrion holding Cersei's dwarf baby, being left to rebuild the realms. I like it.
Casterly Rock sipping some Imp's Delight and toasting his father. Damn, I like that. Okay. King Tyrion says Geordie Jedi. Very interesting. A very small man can cast a very large shadow. Be fun for Tyrion if he joins forces with the Night. Gemma's putting some sort of emoji. Thanks for the donation, Gemma. Telling the ending of the donkey story. Okay, Honeycomb and the Jackass. Let me throw this out for you. This is tinfoil. Honey is sweet. Honeycomb is sweet. And a jackass is bitter. It's a bittersweet ending to the joke. We're never going to get it. The bittersweet ending is the ending of A Song of Ice and Fire. Get it? We're never going to get the ending that we wanted. It's a bittersweet ending to the joke. The jackass is bitter. Honey is sweet. I'm
not buying that one at all, Kyle. I'm sorry. I can't. The answer to it's actually a riddle. And Tyrion's wife got 3 wishes, and she wished for the sweetest or the best ass in the land, and that was the triumphant ass that came walking by. And then the honeycomb was that she wanted their love story to be sweeter than something or other. And the end of the joke actually is like, and I wished for it. Then she wished for my cock to hang down to my knee, and poof, he becomes a dwarf. That's the joke.
Yeah, I'm reaching. Tyrion drinking Imp's Delight. You're very happy, jackass, Gemma. How about you? Oh, Gemma. Here's what I got for you, Gemma.
Still the most professional podcast on the web.
All right, let's see what we Manlin. Rude, I know. I'm usually.
Oh, are you going to? You're going to the concert tonight too, right, Kyle?
I'm going tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, actually.
Oh, you're going tomorrow night. Okay. Mandolin's going tonight.
Mandolin, let me know. Message me and tell me how it is. Actually, Ramsey from the Africana Thrones group, he shared a clip of the Light of the Seven being played, and I was like, oh my god, I was just like, it was so awesome. Well, one more Q&A. We'll do one more Q&A, and then we're gonna peace out. Let's see what we can get.
Yeah, Prince. It wasn't promised. Is who is the Night King? We already. It's Todrick Stark is the Night King.
Bernie the
It is known.
Bernie the Burnt. Tyrion and Sansa stay married. Do they end up together, JR? And gasp and rule the North. Would that mean? I don't know about rule the North, but I can totally see Tyrion and Sansa together, 100%.
I'm actually on the Sansa theory train with Sansa, and it's not going to happen in the show. Maybe in the books, but it's not happening in the show. She'll end up with Tyrion. I think
Sansa ends up with Tyrion in the show. I think it's been set up quite a bit. We want to thank you all for coming today. The chat has been super, super lit today. I think that I'm going to do another one on Thursday. I'm actually going to be back in Atlanta. I'm going to be staying with my friends, the Pre-Gamers, who I'm going to AWA with, Anime Weekend in Atlanta. There's going to be some really fun stuff going down there. I'm going to be interviewing Matilda Smedius, who actually voices Bridget in Overwatch, and we're going to be interviewing a YouTube channel named Team 4-Star. They have 3.1 million subscribers. They do Dragon Ball Z videos. It's called The Bridge, but they do like voiceovers, and they make it really funny. So I'm going to go there this weekend. I'm trying to better my interview skills and better my camera skills. So I'm going there this weekend and get some work done with the Pre-Gamers. They do amazing camera work, and we're going to be doing a Patreon video. We're going to be doing maybe we're going to be doing a Song of Ice and Fire history video. You know how they do the drunk history videos? We might be filming that. And we're going to be filming some new intros and outros for the channel and stuff like that. So some work has to be done. I'm going to be in Atlanta on Thursday. So there will be a live stream at some point. And JR, what's up next for you, man? Geek Chat 1 on Facebook, right? It's in the description of this video. What are you going to do, JR?
Yes, sir. Sorry, you're breaking up on me. That's all.
So Geek Chat 1, talk a little bit about that before we go.
Geek Chat 1 on Facebook. It's a place to hang out, and we talk about all sorts of fandoms, including The Expanse, Marvel, the DCU, pretty much everything all over the place.
Yes, so Geek Chat 1, if you guys liked how the live stream chat works and you want to chat and get to know people, invite all of you. You're all very welcome to come to Geek Chat 1 on Facebook. I'm in there, Gemma's there, JR, our friend George Sartiano, a bunch of awesome people in the fandom are there. A lot of people from the chat. We all chat there about Marvel and The Expanse and all sorts of different fandoms. Game of Thrones, obviously.
Wait, I got to ask you an Expanse question. Where are you from? Are you an In or are you Beltawala?
Yeah, I think I'm an earther. I don't know. I think I'm an earther.
You're an earther?
Yeah.
I want to be the belt because I identify with it more as Irish heritage and all. But I'm a Martian. There's no two ways about it. I'm a Martian.
But Martians are cool too. I actually really like what they stand for, rebuilding this planet into this fertile paradise. I like the Martians. So I'm kind of in, but the Belters are there. They all stand for something cool. I like all the factions, really. They all have something.
Yeah, I just want to be a space marine. That's all there is.
Oh, King McKay popping in the chat right here at the end. He says, "Great stream, guys. Thank you so much for popping in." If you did, King McKay, we're gonna do some more. Me and King McKay will be doing Viking stuff when it comes back in November.
Yeah, I love your guys' Viking content. It's been great.
We got some stuff we're going to be working on. But if you did enjoy this video, please like this video. I think we have 5 dislikes and 61 likes and 97 people watching. So
we love the dislikes. Bring on the hate. Bring on the hate. It's fantastic. We don't care.
We're good. We're all about positivity here. If you did enjoy this video, please like the video. If you did like the video and you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel if you do want to get notifications for upcoming content on the channel. If you do want to support the channel, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon. It helps out a lot. And yeah, please leave your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you would like us to talk about in the next live stream. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody, today. And I guess we can do 1, 2, 3. Hype and love.
Hype and love.
JR was really late on that one. Hype and love, everyone.